Recently, unfortunately, there was a shooting in New York that is being reported as part of a spate of shootings and deaths related to cops. Now, this is not the Eric Garner case where he was choked to death. This is the case of Akai Gurley, who was killed in a hallway, in a dark hallway, by a rookie cop, Peter Liang. It was an accidental discharge of his weapon. So let me explain the situation to you, and then let me tell you the real problem in this case. Officials said Liang, the officer, was holding a flashlight in his right hand and a Glock 9mm in the other when he opened the door to the 8th floor landing. One bullet flew out and apparently ricocheted into the chest of Gurley, who was on the 7th floor landing and taking the stairs with his girlfriend, Melissa Butler, 27. So, look, this is an accident. We understand that. Now, a little bit more context here before we get to the real problem. First of all, their commanding officer had told them, don't do what are called these verticals. When you go inside the building, part of the reason they told them not to do that is they used to do it all the time. And what winds up happening is you're looking for trouble. And when you're looking for trouble, sometimes you find it, right? He said, patrol outside, make sure everything's safe, and if you have to go in the lobby, go in the lobby. But their commanding officer told them, don't do the verticals when you go into the hallways, right? Now, something that happened there was the superintendent of the building had this light that was out, so it was pitch dark in there. That's why he's using his flashlight, and he's got his gun out. Again, I don't know why he's got his gun out, but that's part of why you shouldn't go looking for trouble. Okay, so of course they fixed the lights a couple hours after the guy is dead. That doesn't really help the situation. One of the many reasons they shouldn't have been there, but that's not really the heart of the problem here. As the New York Daily News is now reporting, while Akai Gurley was dying in a darkened stairwell at a Brooklyn housing development, the cop who fired the fatal bullet was texting his union representative, sources told the Daily News. Go help the guy. Go help him. What is wrong with you, man? I know you want to cover your own ass. Can't you be a human being for a second? And now it wasn't a second. Look at how long it took. Right after rookie cop Peter Liang discharged a single bullet that struck Gurley, 28, he and his partner Shaun Landau were incommunicado for more than 6.5 minutes, sources said Thursday. Now, would Gurley have died anyway? We have no way of knowing. I don't know. Who knows what could have happened in that 6.5 minutes? Maybe they could have applied pressure. Maybe they could have done CPR. I have no idea, right? And it was actually one of the neighbors that called 911. Go help the guy. You know a guy got shot. You know it because you're calling your union rep trying to cover your own ass. And look, it might have been an accident in the first place, but when you don't treat the guy for 6.5 minutes, well, then we're talking about something else. I mean, at a bare minimum, that seems like criminally negligent. Now, they'll have to look into the case, and they'll have to talk to witnesses, and they'll have to see what happened. Were they, even though they were incommunicado for those 6.5 minutes, did they go down and try to help him at some point after they were done texting? All those details should come out in an investigation, but they should be thoroughly investigated, because here we have yet another cop shooting someone, in this case an accident, but then caring more about himself than he does about the guy he just shot. And that is a common theme throughout here. I'm not going to take any chances. In the case of Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old in Cleveland, I'm going to shoot the kid dead in 2 seconds flat, literally, because I'm not going to take any chances with my own well-being. And that list goes on and on. In this case, it was the well-being of their job that they cared about more than anything else after the shooting. Law enforcement source tells the Daily News that's showing negligence when you don't go and take care of the guy you shot. And he clarifies the guy is dying and you still haven't called it in. And that seems to be what happened here. NYPD and cops in general that care more about themselves than they care about the citizens they're supposed to be protecting. How strange. Unfortunately, it is perfectly usual these days.